Okay, I'm back. Hopefully you had some time to look at this second paragraph and make some corrections. Again, I asked you to highlight the corrections you were making. The highlight tool is up here. You can choose any color to highlight that you want. And then I wanted you to actually make the corrections. So let's just get started right into this paragraph. This paragraph says, the author operates with pathos by using nonverbal images and verbal images that leave the audience worried. Okay, so one thing is that we have a capitalized word when we don't need a capitalized word. No big deal. I was a little bit concerned about nonverbal images and verbal images because verbal has to do with sound and image has to do with sight. So I think they're talking about text images, not verbal images. Verbal has to do with the sound of your voice. So it cannot be an image if it's verbal. So maybe they used images and text. Maybe that might just be an easier way to go about this. That is definitely just a style thing. It's not something that you would be, that you would lose points for, but when they say nonverbal, they're probably just talking about images. And when they say verbal images, they're probably talking about text. Images, oh, because it's repeated. Okay, that's fine. So that's just a minor thing. The author operates with pathos by using images and text that leave the audience worried. This is such an excellent topic sentence. I am so happy about this because they've included the emotion right in the first sentence. So I know exactly what this paragraph is going to be about. It's about making the audience worried. The next sentence says, the speaker renounces on being physically present in the video and instead involves himself with his clear voice, guiding us through while pictures are visualizing the content, such as celebrating in the background while talking about graduation. Okay, so let's go through this step by step. First we have renounces on. Renounce is a verb that sort of means the opposite of announce. When you announce something, you are claiming it to be true, you are forcefully declaring it, you are announcing something. Renounce is the opposite of that. So this is, and usually we don't say renounce, we say denounce. Denounce is the common verb, but even denounce is not that common. So this is not a word that is commonly used. It basically means reject. The speaker rejects. So I might, as a style thing, just switch this to a more common verb, but definitely we don't say renounce on. We just say renounces. There's definitely no on that comes after this. So the speaker renounces being physically present in the video. That makes much more sense. This preposition does not go with this verb. The speaker renounces being physically present in the video and instead involves himself with his clear voice, guiding us through while the pictures are visualizing the content, such as students celebrating in the background. Okay, so here's an issue. Guiding us through while pictures are visualizing. What this sentence actually says is that the pictures are visualizing the content. Like the pictures are doing this action. The pictures have their little minds, and inside the picture's mind, they are visualizing something. This is kind of personifying the picture. Pictures aren't doing the visualizing. They're representing, maybe, but this is, again, not the right verb here, because this is saying that pictures are doing some kind of action, and pictures can't do the action of visualizing because pictures don't have a mind to visualize in. So guiding us through while the pictures are representing, let's say, the content. Okay, this sentence is starting to get a little bit unwieldy because we've got some prepositional phrases in the video with his clear voice, guiding us through while pictures are visualizing. So we've got a lot of these prepositional phrases. This one is a preposition, this one is a preposition, this one is a preposition. So we've got like a lot of these. when you have too many prepositional phrases in one sentence, it's a good idea to break it up and separate those, because it becomes this long chain of prepositions that's harder to follow. The speaker renounces being physically present in the video and instead involves himself with his clear voice. That would be a great place to stop the sentence, because that is a complete thought. If I wanted to stop it here, I would put a period and I would need to add a subject here. But let's just say guiding us through while the pictures are representing the content. And then I've got another phrase, and this just feels like too much, because I've got what he's doing instead, what's guiding us, and then I've got examples. Those are way too many things to cover in one sentence. So what I'm going to do is right here, where I have this punctuation issue, I might just stop the sentence. So I'm going to back this up and put a period. And now I need this. We can't start a sentence with such as, so I need this to be more clear. So I'm just going to say, some of the images are of students celebrating in the background while talking about graduation. Okay, so I've created a new sentence, and I had to add some words at the beginning so that it makes sense, because I can't just start with such as. In between the sequences, the screen is filled with words like humanity. This one is definitely a grammar issue. This is something that I see a lot, but hopefully you know that all of the punctuation goes inside the quotes. So the period should actually be right there and not right there. Oops, did I erase a T? There we go. Okay, so some of the images are of students celebrating in the background while talking about graduation. In between the sequences, this is another one of those phrases that is optional, and so she separated it with commas, so that is excellent. The screen is filled with quotes or words like humanity. They are memorably presented as they stuck out from the background. Okay, this one, there's nothing wrong with it. It could be a little bit more specific. They could talk about the color, the size, whatever made it stick out. But grammatically and style-wise, it's just fine the way it is. All of this is important because the content is getting intensified through the connection with the picture, which makes it easier to remember, and it has a strong impact on the emotions of the viewer. Very good. Now, all of this is important because the content is getting intensified through the connection with the viewer, which makes it easier, and it has a strong impact on the emotions of the viewer. We've got some subordinate phrases here, because the content, through the connection, which makes, we've only got 3 so far in this sentence though. The one above, where we had a bunch of the speaker renounces on being physical, where we had a bunch of them and I broke up the sentence, there were a lot more than 3. There's no specific rule about how many you can have, but I would say when the sentence is getting longer than like 2 or 3 lines, that's when you probably want to break it up, because it's too much for the audience to handle at one time. The period gives us a pause and lets us kind of take a break. So I would leave this one alone because I think it's fine. It lets them feel the initial joy, followed by fear and skepticism in the different stories. That one looks perfect. The imagery is used to deeply imprint these words. That one looks perfect. And I do like how they ended with imagery and started with imagery, so it made everything connected, and their analysis definitely relates to their topic. Okay, so we've gone through 2 of these. In the future, I'll give you the paragraphs, and perhaps I'll go through some of the major issues, but what I would like for you to do is to turn in the document that has all the highlighting and all the corrections on it. So your document should look just like this, and you can submit it onto Blackboard, okay? I hope that going over some of these little tiny grammar issues, these little miniature things helped. Sometimes, I mean, I could do a whole lesson on when to capitalize and when not to capitalize, but sometimes just seeing something in the paragraph gives you the information you need, and it's not necessary to do a whole lesson. So I hope that these things about subjects and about capitalization, about capitalization and about when to use colons, I hope that we can go through these in the context of your real work so that you can see them in action. And I don't think these concepts are major that need a lot of time spent on them. I think it's something that we can just spend a few minutes on, and hopefully you've learned something, and hopefully your writing will be a little bit more improved and you'll be more confident. All right, I will see you guys in class today.